I
want to hear it all.
I have too many stories.
You can tell as many as you want.
No, that's all right. I mean, I better just tell a faster one. Better not tell you the time I got thrown into the East River and stuff like that. You know.
See, that's even more interesting. Why don't you tell me about the time you got thrown into the East River? How did that happen? What led to that?
I was in the East Village where I lived, and where we were. I was with my wife, and she was. I think she was. Yeah, Tiavi was already born. Yeah, and I went out to go to the grocery store, which was around the corner. And these people picked me up. They thought they said they were police. They said, get in the car. And they acted like they were police. And they were plain clothes, but you know, so what? There's a lot of plain clothes. And they took me over to the West Village and dumped me into the what is it called, the Hudson?
Okay.
Yeah, the Hudson. And between New Jersey and New York, yeah. And they dumped me in. I'm glad they didn't hit me over the head, because if they had hit me over the head, I would have been dead. Because I was going down for the third time, and I'm yelling out. Well, I mean, before I go down for the third time, I'm yelling out, there's a ship way over, like almost a mile away. And I'm yelling at the top of my lungs, trying to get somebody's attention. And I'm yelling, I've got a wife, I've got a son, I need to get out of here. And anyways, what happened then was, in the end, you couldn't. I tried to go up like this, you know, on the bricks, trying to get up. It's like I don't know how far it is. It's like 15, 20 feet.
Okay.
You know, there's no way I could do it. I mean, I couldn't do it. And then this is what happened. This is late at night, you know, and this is a district where nobody is at that time. At least they didn't used to be. And this guy rides by on a bike with a like 20, 30 foot rod. You know, like a rod, iron rod, on a bike. And he sticks it down like this and says, grab a hold of this. I said, I can't. But this time I'm going in the thermia. Is that how you say it?
Hypothermia?
Yeah. I'm going into that. And I said, I'm going down for the third time. And I said, I can't. He said, you can. I said, I can't. He said, you can. And then the third time, I was like, lifted my arms up and I was up. Like that. Without it, I don't even think I even grabbed the pole. I don't know. And I was up. Well then, he's looking at me with disgust. Like, what? And like that. And all of a sudden, he's poofed, he's gone. The bike gone, he's gone, everything's gone. It was an angel. And then the what do you call it, the ambulance and everything came by then and took me to the hospital and revived me and let me go. That was pretty wild. That's one of my many experiences.
All right, so just go ahead and tell me who the book is by and what it's called.
Well, it's short nursery rhymes for children under the age of 2. Was it that you started off with?
Yeah.
No, what is this? Is
Just Kids
Just Kids.
by Patti Smith.
New York Times bestseller. Bruce told me the book was coming out. What was it, a couple years ago?
Oh man, I remember now.
I remember when it was coming out. He told me it was coming out.
A few more years than that, a couple years ago, yeah.
And I was at an airport in, where was I, in LA, and all of a sudden I look on the rack, wasn't even thinking, was just looking for a book, and I see New York Times bestseller, Just for Kids. And Bruce was just telling me about it.
One of the Warhol people, I can't remember his name right now. Anyways, we and somebody else, Renee Ricard, and then who else? There's a bunch of famous people there anyways. And me and Patty got bored. And so we said, let's get out of here until we left. That's what was in the book.
Okay.
And Robert, she said that Robert wanted to stay and meet everybody, and you know, he was like, shh, like that.
Yeah.
Trying to get ahead like that.
Something about being with Warhol and something else.
This was Women's Word Daily. It's a trade magazine, and this is everything on here is mine. And when I met them, they said, if you give us your stuff before you give it to Vogue, we'll make you big. We got the manufacturers behind it. After I did all this, I never went back. This is Sean Connery with my feather belt.
Oh wow.
He
Very
was
cool.
the first 707, or what do you call him?
007?
Yeah, he was the first one.
James Bond, yeah.
Bond.
James
Sean
Bond.
Connery. Yeah.
Very cool.
He's still a good looking man now. He's just different, but he's still, the women love him like crazy. And that's me
There's
with the
Bruce.
feather guard.
Wow.
There's Bruce. What year is that, you think, Bruce?
I don't know, 65, 67. No, not 65, maybe 68 maybe.
Okay.
And was that in a magazine or was that?
No, no, it's just a photography tribute.
Okay.
It looks like it was in a magazine.
It's very cool.
And this here is what's this. Oh, this is, yeah, this is what's going here. I took this out because I sent it to Tricia, Diane Podluski's sister, and she lives in New Mexico right now. And Diane and Patty became friends, and Patty, when she died, she was one of my models. And when she died, Patty did the eulogy. Patty Smith did. Okay. And anyways, that was a dress I designed that was leather and studs. Yeah. And it was supposed to go down to the ground, but we ran out of fabric, so hurried up and got it done. And then Diana did these boots and wore it to a fashion show, which I was doing. We came in late, and everybody turned their heads, all the fashion editors turned their head, ran over to her and said, "Who are you?" And she said, "I am Diane Podluski." She was funny. And anyways, I had my one belt on a dress there by somebody else, but I had a belt there in the fashion show, and it also was a showstopper.
Is that Twiggy?
I wish I had all of them. This is Twiggy. This is the first one that came out. This is my belt here.
Okay.
And then this is mine here. It wasn't. They made it this way, but it wasn't supposed to be that way. It was supposed to go around like this, go down around the neck, go down around the arm, go down around here, and go around the hand. And it was fluorescent. And so if you wore it on the discotheque in a black light, you'd be all electric, glowing. You know?
Very cool.
Yeah. But they did it that way. They tore it up. This is for a watch issue, which was very important to Vogue. And then they took it and wrapped it around here and wrapped it around somewhere else. And that's one of their biggest money makers, was watches. And this was in the, this when beads went down to the ground, but they didn't show that this was on the beauty page at Vogue.
It's beautiful.
And, okay, and this is, remember I told you about Susan? That's what's his name kept going after? That's Susan. And this is this necklace is the top of here. This is a very lovely suede fringe outfit that ties around here like this. And wait till you see it on a guy. It goes good with a girl and it goes good with a guy. Wait till you see it. I couldn't believe it when I saw it on the guy. And this was in Vogue, and this was the whole, everything on there is mine. Whole page of my jewelry, that was cool. And this was in Harper's Bazaar, it's a belt. And let's go back this way. That's me with just before my hair grew long, with all my rings and shirt and belt here. This is Paula Abdul, I told you about her. And that's the belt, you know, around like this, which also in that fashion show was on a very Renaissance gown that went down to the bottom, like a castle gown, and it was beautiful in that. And that's what stopped the show. It was black and this was silver,
Wow.
and it was beautiful in that. It was gorgeous on that. That's what stopped that show. Besides Diane saying, "I am Diane Podlutsky." And this is Penelope Tree, who I caught at Salvation Discotheque wearing a lot of my stuff, which she stole from Vogue. But then I got mad, and then I thought, well, I should be impressed, really, if she liked it. She's like a billionaire, you know.
Yeah.
And the only reason she got in Vogue is because she has so much money. But anyways, those are mine there, and here, like that earring with the feathers.
Looks like my new necklace you made me very
Yeah,
similar.
but without the chain on yours.
It does look like that
It
necklace.
is. It is.
And this is him with the same outfit.
Oh, the
See how it
leather
goes with the guy?
Okay.
You can't tell. It doesn't look like, it looks like it's supposed to be with the guy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. It looks like Gacho or
Looks like very Western.
Argentina. Argentina Gacho. And this is Jay Johnson, who was one of the Warhol people, and that's a clear fringe, clear plastic fringe, chaps.
Okay.
This was in Queen magazine in London, and everything on there is mine, the whole thing. The shirt, the vest, the hat, this.
Wow.
And this is my wife, and a friend of mine did this is from a painting, but I got a photograph, a thing of it that they sent me. And that she always wore these things, which would remind me of this kind of thing. She always wore turbans and this kind of thing. And there's a gal that goes to Renaissance, Samantha, that wears
Sam,
turbans.
Yeah, I know Sam.
Huh? Yeah.
She's an amazing person.
She's pretty cool, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got to talking right away because of the thing. And this is one here, this one here, and these are foot rings. I mean, like bracelet foot rings. And this was a feather purse, like an evening bag.
Yeah.
And I sold tons of those things.
Quail feathers, isn't it?
Huh?
It's like quail feathers.
No, it's guinea feathers here.
Okay.
And this is turkey, I think. I think they're turkey. I can't remember, but I think they're turkey. Just dyed, but these are guinea. And these up here, and a bunch of stuff down here somewhere. And let's turn the page. That was also, I sold a lot of those on Electric Circus. And she's got on rings. She's got on rings. Let's go. Those are in Vogue magazine. I had so much stuff I couldn't keep up with it. There, and that's a ring. That's the other version of this one.
Okay.
It's a coral ring. It's made out of gold. And she's got rings on. And then she's got the arm ring. You can tell about a picture of it there. And she does here too. And these are foot rings. There's another gal in here. There should be three gals, but there's a foot rings,
Okay.
foot rings.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And this is a letter from Whitney Museum. You want me to read it to you?
The Whitney Museum?
Yeah?
Sure, yeah. I'll just go ahead and kick back and relax on the couch,
Do what?
and then
Do what?
I'm going to stop the
Go ahead and
camera.
relax. Doesn't come on too often.
It doesn't. What's wrong with it?
There's nothing to watch.
Alright, so
I
go ahead.
read my movies over and let you watch them. Huh?
you can go ahead and read that letter. if you
Okay,
want to.
and I don't know if I can read it. Let's see. Thanks so much. This is from the Whitney Museum. Thanks so much for calling me last week. It was great to get to talk to you at last, and to hear about you and Rana, which was my wife. I find it quite amazing. She was in Chelsea Girls, Rhonda.
Was that the other Warhol movie?
Warhol, yeah, yeah. I find it quite amazing. She used to, well, to get her, she was, before I met her, she was with Bob Dylan and Timothy Leary in Boston. And then she came to New York, where she's from. She's from Brooklyn. She came to New York, and she was with Jonas Mekas, is really one of the best underground filmmakers.
Okay.
And then she met Andy, and then she met me. So here, let's go back to this. It was great to hear about you and Rhonda. I find it quite amazing that two people in a Warhol screen test would have become involved with each other and had a child, quite apart from the factory scene. But after these years of research, that's probably just what my Warhol-centric view of things is. Since I talked to you last, I realized that I had a few more questions about Rhonda that I had asked you. For example, was her last name really Schwartz? Was she a filmmaker and originally from New York? Can you tell me about any other activities outside of Warhol? For example, did she act in anyone else's films? Not very urgent questions, but if you have a chance, maybe you could drop me a line by mail or via email to call. And then she said the thing. I'm enclosing some of my writings about the Warhol film and also snapshots of you and Ron from Screen Test. They were actually, I've got them at home, they were actually filmed. You know, going up something from there, and I'm not supposed to use them in anything except to show the people. That's about it. They have to get permission. Snapshots from Warhol film, Ron from Screen Test. Please note that these photos are for you, personal use only. They should not be reproduced or copied or put down the internet or anything like that. If you do at some point want to publish them, you must contact the Warhol Museum in Pittsburgh for permission, which owns the rights to all the Warhol films. Your Screen Test, by the way, is one of the best ones. I think in my text, I say it is the most, what does that say?
Garigaccio-like.
If that's a word. Ron's portrait film is unfortunately rather dark and underexposed. As I said, if you are ever in New York, please give me a call and I'd be happy to show you Screen Test in my office. Thank again for your time. With best wishes, Callie and Angel. She does the Warhol stuff in the Whitney Museum.
Wow.
And that's it. I said, as I told you before, I had stuff in what do you call it? What was the name of that magazine? Esquire? Yeah, Esquire. A full, 7-page spread of Kathy McCauley, it was called The Richest Girl in New York City. And it was about her, but I had all the clothes on her.
Wow.
And we had a great time doing the photographs on scene in a townhouse.
What magazine was that? Market Bazaar?
No, that was, I think Esquire.
Esquire.
Yeah. They did an article on her, in the magazine, and all the clothes she was wearing was mine.
Maybe I can help dig that up some kind of way.
Well, that'd be great. That'd be great, because I've never been able to get the pictures.
Did you call the magazine?
Well, they, somebody called Vogue one time and wanted to know about getting some of the other ones, and they all changed people now and know nothing.
Yeah. We'll see what we can figure out. So, I'm going to stop this here and then restart it. Neil, how has Bruce influenced your desire to pursue music full time?
Because he just is non-stop about getting him a CD. Bruce has been, he's always given me the incentive to keep playing. You know, I've been through some different things in my life where I'd be ready to stop playing. He's always been the one to encourage me to keep playing.
Yeah. Go ahead and play some for us then.
Got nothing to say.